Welcome to Knoebels. My name is Carl, and I've been a card-carrying member of the American Coaster Enthusiasts since 1974, and my favorite park in this great country is Knoebels. Now, I've been coming to Knoebels ever since they opened the Phoenix way back in the day, and you know, Knoebels has the best collection of wood coasters on the planet. They just do. The Phoenix is the best wood coaster on the planet. The old mill. That's what they used to call my wife, Barb, before she left me. The Phoenix at Knoebels, the best wooden coaster in the world, which of course means it's the best coaster in the world. And you know what? The Golden Ticket Awards, I respect them because they know that. They know that the best wooden coasters are old school, made in America. The airtime on the Phoenix is just completely unmatched. And you want to know why? It's because Knoebels isn't afraid to keep the buzz bars on their damn roller coaster. This ride's completely safe. The buzz bars are fine. I don't understand why they started abandoning the buzz bars. Knoebels. You know, this is why I like Knoebels so much. They respect the old time. They respect the tradition. None of these newfangled Six Flags parks, they don't respect tradition. Knoebels does. Whatever happened to ticket books?
And she'll have fun, 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 till her daddy takes a T-bird away. Fun, 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 till her daddy takes a T-bird away.
Before we continue, however, bad news. Due to financial difficulties, I have gone into significant debt and thus have been unable to procure the services of famous time crime investigator Biff Tannen in my quest to prevent Alan Schilke from returning to the past with his newly built time machine. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel so I may convert these subscriptions into student loan bucks and pay back Uncle Joe before it's too late. Thank you.
They just don't make them like they used to anymore. They finally got flying turns open. Good for them. I always believed in Knoebels. I knew they could do it eventually. We all live in a yellow submarine. I don't understand why all these new attractions feel the need to use this newfangled RMC eyewash track. What's wrong with old wooden track? All the good attractions here at Knoebels use the old wooden track. The Phoenix, the Twister. We don't need an RMC at Knoebels, no. Oh, Fandango. I remember renting movies. These little Larson towers really pack a punch. They told us we couldn't build it, but we did it anyway. Now that's the American spirit. You know, I've always said Knoebels has great operations. Knoebels has the best operations. Ignore the fact they're only running one train and the line's 40 minutes long. The operations are great. No, really, it's fine that the park always only runs one train on their largest attractions, even on busy days. The ops are just that good. The ops are so good, it doesn't matter they're running one train. Now, Twister here. Now, this is a ride with an interesting story. Did you know these were originally the plans for a ride called the Mr. Twister in Elitch Gardens in Colorado? And Knoebels actually tried to buy the ride, but they couldn't buy the ride because it was too expensive, so they just bought the plans. You know, back in the day when I was a younger gentleman, I always used to love the Twister because I always rode it with Barb. And we would sit together in the back row right next to each other, and I liked the Twister because the lateral forces really push the two of you together, so I got to get nice and close to Barb. This ride always reminds me of her. I miss her so much. Barb used to love the Cosmotron. Poland! What happened to some pride in our damn country? The Knoebels flyer is the best flyer around, and do you want to know why? It's because they use a diesel engine, unlike all these other electric newfangled. Nothing beats the power of old gasoline. Other parks can learn from this. Ooh, listen to that baby purr. You know that the Phoenix up front is a real dick slapper. The Golden Ticket Awards keep voting the Phoenix as the best wooden coaster in the world, and obviously they know what they're talking about, so it makes sense to say that the Phoenix is the #1 best wooden coaster in the world. Buzz bars. Time to learn about coal. They should restore it and run it on the main line. You know, Twister's a great ride, but I don't understand why you can't have buzz bars like the Phoenix does. Maybe if it had buzz bars like the Phoenix did, it would be even better. Peanuts, just like you find at the old ballpark. Oh, it's just like the one they have in New York City. It's like those information kiosks at Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, it's just like the ride they have in Roller Coaster Tycoon. That looks just like the ride from my greatest nightmares. Cosmos Curves is just such a great attraction for the little kids. I wish Barb would let me see the grandchildren again. Time to learn more about coal. Leave it to Walt Disney to rip off a good idea from another better park. The Knoebels Haunted Mansion really has just that charm. You just don't get that sort of charm anywhere else. This park is full of charm. Gasoline alley, none of that PC electric car BS you're seeing popping up in all the corporate parks. I wonder what awaits us at the top of the Skyway. Oh, I love the Knoebels Sky Ride because it gives you a great bird's eye view of the park and most importantly, the Phoenix. I never understood the appeal of rides like the Impulse with the steel track and the loop-de-loops and all that. It's just too complicated, you know. The classic Woodies at Knoebels, they're simple. They know what they're about. The Twister, the Phoenix. They don't need anything fancy to give a good ride experience. This Impulse ride, it's too complicated. And who's this Zera manufacturer? Why can't we build our coasters in America? Back in my day, aerodynamics. You know what Impulse reminds me of? It reminds me of the Laser at Dorney Park. Now that was a good steel coaster. Nice, simple, just 2 vertical loops. No need to get fancy or anything, but the color scheme on this ride reminds me of the Laser. Do you remember the Laser at Dorney Park? You know, while I was waiting for the Impulse, there were some kids in line that were saying that they wanted to go to Six Flags. And these kids just don't know how to appreciate the quality of a good family park like Knoebels. Don't they know that this park is owned by the Knoebel family? It's a true family-owned entertainment center, and you'll never get any better than that. I love this park. You know. It feels like it's a giant fair circuit park, but that's what I like about it. It's got charm. It's got that small park charm that none of these big corporate parks have anymore. And most importantly, they have buzz bars on the Phoenix. And here's where I get to take my suppository. God bless America. I don't understand personally. Why would Dorney Park get a dive coaster from that foreign B&M manufacturer when they had a dive coaster already called the Front Row of Steel Force?